Hey everyone, my name is Danilo Petrovic.
I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Denis Kudla.
I'm Evgeny Donskoy.
I'm Henry Laaksonen.
I'm Peter Torebko, and you're listening to the Game to Love podcast.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. This is a little bit of an impromptu podcast. We thought we had to cover it. It's the French Open qualifications, and they're coming up this week. And it's an absolutely jam-packed draw full of players myself and JG can't stop raving about. So buckle up. We're about to take you through, well, some real top players you want to keep your eye out for in this Roland Garros, mate. I'm excited, mate. This is what we've been waiting for. Come on.
Well,
Come on.
You said this week, mate. It's tomorrow.
Mate,
a lot of these players are playing tomorrow. It starts. Roland Garros is here.
I'm so excited.
My favourite Grand Slam. I know you're more of a Wimbledon man, but I love the French Open. I think it's amazing. I can't wait to do the main draw preview show, what we're going to be doing soon, but we've got to wait for that to be released when the draw is actually announced. Right now, we're sticking with the qualifiers, and there's some serious qualifiers, like really good ones,
mate. These are our players.
Hey, this is our domain. I feel like we're rolling back the years. When we first started the podcast, we was very much focused on a lot of these challenger players, and we've kind of gone off that a little bit, but that's because there's so many tournaments happening thick and fast. You guys want us to do live watch-alongs. We're really enjoying the live watch-alongs. So we've just been going down that avenue a little bit and maybe neglecting some of the challenger stuff. We've not done as many podcasts on them. I know we did a few about the Cerundolo brothers and how great they are. They're going to be in this qualification draw. But there's so many other cool names. You've got Thomas Matak. I know we spoke to him previously. And what we've prepared for you guys today is a little surprise. So what we've done is we've dissected the whole draw. We can't do it on the tennis draw challenge because there's nothing for qualifiers on there. But what we've done is we've gone through the whole draw, and me and Ben independently have selected our 16 qualifiers who we think are going to advance into the main draw. I've not looked at Ben's. He's not looked at mine. The only time I did look at it is when he told me them and I put them on the sheet. So I've looked at them, but I've not. What I wanted to clarify is I've not used yours.
Story.
I didn't cheat, basically. I didn't use yours. And
you already had yours done.
I already had mine's done. He already had his done. And we've just put them together. I had a little laugh at his. He's already slagged mine off air.
Yeah,
so
mate.
Shall we just get into it?
Mate, well, based upon my bracket leagues, I wouldn't even be slagging off your ones. You're doing much better than me. So, mate, let's get into it. JG's prepared a nice little presentation for us. We have him to thank. Look at this beauty. Wow. Nice colours there, mate. I like it. Nice green. Roland Garros there. And this is, the men's qualifying draw. It's been broken down. There's obviously 128 people qualifying, and that's broken down into...
That's a first, right, for this year? I don't think it's ever been 128.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, this is ridiculous amount of people in this draw, but not everybody can get there. And there's a lot of favourites that I've had to knock out of this tournament on the way through, and I'm very, very sad to have done so as well.
Yeah.
Do we just go straight into our top 8, or
let's go to the top 8. So what we've done is I've split it over. We've got the top half of the draw and the bottom half of the draw. We've selected who we think's going to advance. I must admit, there's some tough decisions in there. There really is, because there's a few which I think's quite weak, and there's others where there's like 2 or 3 I feel like should have gone through, and I feel that's a bit unfair. Yes. So let's just see how it goes. I just want to address some people in the chat. Shout out to you guys. I know it's a bit late and we didn't give you much notice, but appreciate everyone here. We've got 12 Travel 21 telling us the news about Chapeau's withdrawn from Roland Garros. I saw that on Twitter earlier. It's a shock. There's no injury. There's no announcement. What goes with it? I just saw it on the entry list thing on Twitter saying that he's withdrawn. So that's sad news because he's been looking relatively good until the last match we covered.
Typical, isn't it? So I did make that button as well. Never get a chance to use that button. Have to wait.
And we've got Austin saying almost 8K, boys. Keep up the great work. Yeah, big thanks to you guys for subscribing. Hopefully we can get there in the coming days. I think we're not too far away. Maybe another 20 or so.
Indeed. Mate, exciting stuff. So hopefully by the time we finish the French Open, we could be maybe 10,000. Maybe we can reach that 10K. We didn't think it would even be this soon, but we thought, well, thanks to you guys, like JG said, it's been amazing last few weeks.
Yep.
Well, mate, I'm excited now. Show everybody who we've picked. If you want to know how we came to the decisions, I'm sure we're going to probably go through that. But here is our top half of the draw. So let me know if you want me to zoom in or if that's okay.
No, I can see it perfectly, to be fair. The only thing
Lovely
I'm
stuff.
just looking there, did you pick Taberna?
Yeah,
Oh,
mate.
you did.
Both
That's annoying. You copied me on that one. I think that's
Mate.
a cheat in there going on. He's typed that in later on.
Mate, no, it was on there from the start. I can show you my main sheet, which is all filled out.
I believe you. I'm jumping the gun anyway. Let's start number 1. So right at the top, I went Ilya Vashka. I thought it was the obvious choice, and I was shocked when you didn't have him. But I can understand your reasoning. Thomas Machak, quality player. I believe he qualified for Roland Garros last year, didn't he?
Mate,
and then he qualified for the Australian Open as well.
Yep.
We don't see him ever play any tennis, right? I've not seen him play very much at all on the normal circuit. He just waits for the Grand Slams, this guy, and just props up and does very well. So I like your selection, but I don't think it's a good one based on the fact that Ivashka is the man to beat out of all the qualifiers for me. That's why he's number 1 for a reason, mate. I'm glad he's there because he's beaten Zverev recently. He took a set off Rafael Nadal. How can you not think that he's the best chance of getting through that little group he's in?
Mate, well, Mahatch, we had him on the pod, obviously. I know that he has been a main draw at Roland Garros qualifier, obviously, already. So he's been through the mill once. Vashka's a tough player to come up against, but I think he's got youth on his side, Mahatch, and he's only ever getting better. His last time he was on court, it was in Nur Sultan, and he did win the tournament, I believe, in Nur Sultan. So it was on hard court, but then he just thought, I'm just taking the time off until the French
Any
Open
idea
now.
why he doesn't play as much? I don't know.
No idea, mate. Yeah, very strange. But the last time he played on clay was in October, and that was just in a challenger in Alicante. So I'm excited to see him back on the courts again, to be honest. He took Fritz to 5 sets in the French Open, if you remember, last year. So
there's some tough players in this little section as well. So people we've ignored: Ilya Marchenko, Van der Zandslup, Liana Meyer, Manuel Quinard. Well, we did ignore them a little bit because we didn't put them through, mate.
But the Vashka and Mahatch there, I can't not pick those two. I thought they, for me, we've both gone against each other. So I think I'd be happy to see either of those players in the main draw. I much prefer Mahatch. I want to see the youth going through. Ivashka's quality though, mate. He's been so good. But anyway, next one. This one's a bit shocked. I'm a bit shocked by your selection on this next one, to be honest. You've gone Selikbalek.
And I know I knew it would surprise you.
Yeah.
He's a Turkish player. 286th in the world, I believe. I think he's mate. Oh no, sorry. Let me just get it up properly. So
I can bring it. That's all right, mate. I can.
238 right now. He's 24 years old. I'm just a big fan of him. I don't think he's been particularly playing that well recently. He's a good doubles player. I don't know if he's in the best of form, but I fancy him. And looking at some of the players in there, I think Gallon Riveros is the sort of the boring pick. I knew Boring Ben would go for it, so I left that to you.
I think he's just lost the head here, mate.
No. He's got that wow power. I do feel like he can beat people on his day. He likes the clay. He's Turkish. No, he likes the clay, mate. He's Turkish. You're never ever going to meet a Turkish player who can't play on clay courts.
When did he last? But he only played one clay court match so far this year, by the looks of it, and he lost it. But
okay.
Well, and you're going against Gallon Riveros, third round in Roland Garros last time out. I think that, and he obviously played very well. He knocked out Cam Norrie, if you remember, in 5 sets in the last Roland Garros. And we know he is the Nottingham Nadal, Cam Norrie.
Yeah, but Norrie, that's before Norrie was good on clay. I actually like Selikbalek's draw. I think Ito, he can beat him quite comfortably. The tough one's Gallon Riveros. On the other side, no offense, Nakashima doesn't really excite me too much on the clay courts.
Nah, not for me. But I still think he's going to get through. I think we're going to have Riveros, Nakashima. I reckon Riveros. I'm going fairly safe just based upon his last roll on Garros. That was the reason for that selection. Both picked Vilela Martinez, I see next. I think it's fairly safe as well. Both of us, we love him from the Challenger circuit.
Yeah, I think Dennis Novak's the guy who's one of the better players there, but on hard courts. I don't know what Dennis Novak does on the clay. Vilela Martinez, he's made for the clay. Really good player. Bit inconsistent at times, and it wouldn't surprise me if he wasn't to go through, because he can do that. He's got that in his locker for sure, that lack of consistency. But if everything's going all right for him, you'd expect him to be able to sort of get through that little bit, personally.
Yeah.
Good to see he went for the same man as well.
Could come up against that Peter Gorowicz. So I think that could be a tough match for him. But I think
he's the second best for me.
Yeah, definitely. Then going down, you didn't have Milojevic. You had Borna Gojo in the next bracket, which I was interested to see.
Yeah, I'm not going on recency bias too much with some of these ones on the top half. I think you have. I think Milojevic won a tournament, if I'm not mistaken, recently.
No,
was it a challenger?
I didn't even base it upon that. I just liked him. I actually have Gojo going out to Pedro Sousa in the first qualifying match.
Okay.
So I think Sousa's a really great player. Then I have Rosal, him beating Rosal. I had Milojevic beating Martira and then Sousa. So
yeah, no, I love Borna Gojo. I think he's class. He's a big hitter of the ball, Croatian guy, exciting player. Plays with no fear as well. Some of the times I've watched him, there's been so many times where he's on the edge of losing, but he plays very confidently all the time. Sometimes it's scary because he ends up losing by playing a bit too aggressive at big moments. But I think it's exciting brand of tennis. And in a Grand Slam where people are going to be a bit nervous, I think that's going to go in his favour. And that's the reason I picked him.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to see my full draw, that I've picked all the winners of all of them, I'll post it on the Discord after this podcast,
that's a good idea.
and then you guys can see how I came to my decisions.
Yeah.
So I thought that might
I'll be honest, I didn't even do it the sensible way. I just picked out of the names. I thought, he's doing it.
Well, mate, that might be the best way of doing it. Just thinking, which ones do you fancy? Because the next one, we both gone for him. He was the semi-finalist in Belgrade. Lost to Berrettini in 3, I believe, which is Taro Daniel. I think he could definitely... he's got a nice draw, I think, in this qualification. He's got potentially Dominguez and Gaio, I had.
They're not that great. I think this is one of the sections where they're looking around. No one's that special. And Taro Daniel, taking that set off Berrettini and having a really good Belgrade run, it's kind of rude not to put him there. That's why I wasn't shocked to see you have him, to be fair.
No, I think it was one of those ones that sort of picked itself.
It picked itself, yeah.
Next one was slightly tougher. We both went for the same one again. These next 3, these whole 4 in a row. Wow, it goes to show we've been talking to each other for far too long, it looks like, mate. We both gone for Carlos Taberna. This was a tougher section, though.
Really tough.
Get through Martin Klizan. That's no given.
I think he could. That first round, if Klizan turns up, he's a world beater. Like, he's such a weird player. For people who haven't watched him, he's got like a bit of a stubbly beard, and he's a good clay courter.
Yeah,
but he's just you don't know what's ever going to happen. He has the ability to beat people 6-1, then lose 6-1. I just don't understand him as a player and as a man. He has the tendencies to just lose his head.
Yeah.
Regardless of that, if he's on, he could blitz Taberna in 2 sets. I love Taberna, though. Big fan of him. He's a young Spanish player, really good on the clay courts. Did he beat Fanini recently or something?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he had a good run there, didn't he? There's some other good players here, though. You got Weimar. I think it's Weimar in that section.
Didn't he beat Massetti recently as well? Didn't he, Taberna?
I think he. Yeah, he knocked. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he beat Massetti. Maybe he didn't beat Fanini then. I forget. But he's beaten a few. He's played some good players and beaten them recently. So I think he may have enough. I think Weimar or Stevie Diaz could trouble him, maybe.
Yeah,
but let's see what happens. It's a tough little section, that one.
Fabiano, Liam would be disappointed. You don't have him going through that little bracket.
Nah, not for me. Fabiano's he's done.
Well, for me, the next, even though I feel we have to just put Alcaraz in this, I don't think it's going to be plain sailing for him. He's got Lucas Lacko in the first match, which is no easy matchup. Then I've got him playing Pellegrino in the next one. and then potentially Summit Nagao, and
Yeah.
all difficult matches. But Alcaraz just won a challenger, and I think he blitzed Summit Nagao. It's about 6-1, 6-3, I think, in the when they played each other. So
Yeah.
for me,
Good spot.
Alcaraz, very, very solid player.
Agreed. Alcaraz does well against these lower ranked players. The only thing I would say with him is the nerves.
Yeah.
We saw what happened last year here, Roland Garros qualifying. He got to the final stage and lost to Vukic, who is not great. He's okay, but you'd expect him to be able to beat him. I think with Alcaraz, like you said, the Summit Nagao one, I know he's beaten him in a challenger, but this is qualifying for a Grand Slam. Different prospect altogether. And I'm a bit worried about his nerves and how he deals with it. Technically, he'll have too much for him. If he looks at his and he keeps his head and plays like he did in the challenger, there's no reason he doesn't win.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I think we've got to see him in this tournament, in this Roland Garros. Everybody, the world's called him for it. We're probably going to be seeing Musetti there. We need to see him there as well. So anyway, moving on down, another one that sort of picked itself. I like the fact you put Sorry Griekspoor on there. I agree as well. I didn't want to have to pick against Talon.
There's a reason I had to put both names down. I knew if I put Cerundolo / Griekspoor, you'd get angry at me like, why are you picking two? So I've had to just be certain that I'm picking Cerundolo. I made Griekspoor even smaller just so you can't say I'm picking two players. But the reason I mentioned it is because if I'm using my head, I think Griekspoor advances. You know how much I rave about him. I think he's class. There's been many times he's playing top tier players. I forget exactly who it was. And I was calling him for him to win. Do you remember that situation?
Yeah.
And then he lost. Is it Rublev? Or something like that. He had some set points or match points and couldn't really convey him in the end. And I was goading you the whole time saying he's going to do it. And then he ended up losing. But he's so good. He is really, really good. Probably the best in the little section. But my heart says Cerundolo because I want him to advance. I love him. I just love Cerundolo.
Right. Well, this whole draw is a bit lopsided, to be honest. And you look in this little section down the bottom and really good players all the way through. You got Francisco Cerundolo, you got Sid Suburvi, another really good player from the Dominican Republic. You got Constant Lestienne, Tyson Kwiatkowski. You've got Ben Bemelmans and Alessandro Giannessi, Daniel Massur, who's been really good recently on the Challenger Tour, and he's up against Talon Griekspoor in the first match. That could be a tough match for Griekspoor. I don't think it's a given he gets through that one.
No, I think Griekspoor has the toughest little two matches before he gets to the final of qualifying. You know what I mean? Because he's got to get through a few, isn't he? You got one there, two, and then three to get through. I think the first two will be really tough for him. Cerundolo has the slightly easier of the two, so that's why I've gone for him on that basis as well. I want to see Cerundolo, Griekspoor battle to the death to get to advance and see who is the one who can advance because it's so tight. I think it's 50-50. Maybe I'm edging towards Griekspoor, but I just want Cerundolo to win, so that's why I've gone for him.
Indeed, mate. So that's sort of wraps up the top half. The bottom half, Jamie Dickinson asking, where's JM? Cerundolo, well, we've got to go to the bottom half. And here we go, the bottom half. And we've both got, I'm surprised, actually, even though I'm not, in a way, I am still sort of surprised that you've gone with Sebastian Baez. I know he's been playing great stuff recently. Recency bias is a thing, but he could be up against Stanis Kokkinakis in his final qualifying match. And that is, for me, a pick'em. I don't think that's a given that Baez goes through.
I know you was talking about tough sections. I think this personally is one of the toughest.
Yeah.
Reason being, his first match, which I don't even skip past, is Trungelliti. He's someone who doesn't play much, but really he is ridiculously good. So he's like a king slayer. He has all the ability to beat big names. I've seen him do it before.
Yep.
And if he's firing, I'm scared because he can beat Baez and he can probably win the whole section. You've got Kokkinakis on the other hand, who's class, really good. Renzo Olivo, Robin Haase, Donskoy, Hanvier, Mackenzie McDonald. How can we even forget him? He's the 9th seed out of the qualifiers.
Exactly.
So I think this is actually one of my top. I think it's the best 8, personally.
It's really tough to pick. I mean, Baez might not even make it through Trungelliti.
No.
McDonald might beat Kokkinakis.
It's a pick-em, mate. I think any of the 8 could advance.
But I've gone Kokkinakis. and I'm going to have Kokkinakis Baez to decide. And I went Baez, just it's recency bias a little bit. He's an up and coming, really good youngster on the tour, and you need to sit back and just watch this guy play because he's making waves on the Challenger Tour at the moment. And if you haven't heard of him yet, then you're going to hear about him soon. He just won a challenger in Zagreb. He beat Juan Pablo Varillas in the final. He beat Pedro Martinez in there, Damage Amur. He's beaten some really good players. So you better, note that one down. Sebastian Baez, if he makes it into the main draw in Roland Garros, he could cause some problems for some people.
He's like a Diego Schwartzman, I feel.
A little bit.
Not small.
RG.
He's a young Diego Schwartzman.
Yeah, 20 years old, I believe.
Yep. So let's see what happens with him. Number 2. This is where you gave me some heat off air. And I am going to fight back. So if you would like to get up the flash scores of Brooksby, I can show you a little bit more about him because I feel you are not... I feel like you're very quick to jump down his throat.
No, not quick. I watched him recently in a match, and he was very, very good. And he's been in very good form. He's won 2 tournaments on the bounce, but the one on hard, one on clay.
Hey, there we go. What was it? Has he just won a tournament on clay?
Yeah, he's won a challenger on clay.
There we go.
But you've gone against your favourite, mate. You've gone against the Steve.
Mate, I've had enough of Steve. He keeps going out every time I pick him. Jenson Brooksby is actually right up there as one of my most dangerous qualifiers. I really believe in the kid. 20 years old. Do you want to share maybe some of the stuff on the screen on Flash Scores?
I can do, mate. Just bear with me 2 ticks and I'll just put it up.
It's all good. Because I feel like he definitely deserves it.
All right, make sure I get the right screen on here. 1 sec. Here we go.
Probably got so many.
Mate, there's too many tabs open.
So as you can see, there's a lot of green there. You're going to have to read some of the things. I can't see it.
Right, so if you have a look, he's beaten in his last tournament there in Tallahassee. He beat Bjorn Flatangelo in the final. Facundo Mina, Michael Momo, Seyboth Wild in straight sets.
On clay. He beat Seyboth Wild on clay.
This isn't the same Seyboth Wild as last year, just in case you're thinking that. It's not the one who did so well. At the beginning
he's
of last year.
He's still got it in him though. And Brooksby, what is he, 20 years old?
Look at him, he clean. That was the only one that didn't go to 3 sets. Was Seyboth. Seyboth Wild's not in good form right now. I mean, I watched this one. It was the Kudla one, I think you watched, or the Harrison. No, it was it. It was the Harrison match, and Harrison was absolute garbage in that match. Sorry, but the Kudla one's very good.
He makes people look like that, mate. He even beat Selectback, one of my favourite players. Look.
Oh, God, that's that one out the window then.
6-3, 6-1. Jenson Brooksby is the future. He is the future. I would love to put him in the header, mate, of Game to Love. I think he's that good.
Mate, he could be. Remember, he was.
Where's his ranking right now? What's he doing ranking-wise?
Right now, he's 165. But if remember, who was it he beat? Or he came very close to beating, was it the US Open? Or I think it might have been the US Open. I can't even remember off the top of my head. I might have to go back on his record here. Then we'll be able to see. But, oh, no, it's not even a very big record. So we don't have to go back far. It was Thomas Burditch. That was it. So he beat him in 4 sets in 2019. And then he took Basilashvili to 4 sets, but went out.
And this is when he was 18 years old.
When he came on the scene, yeah. And I thought, this kid's going to like blow up now. This is his time. And then sort of disappeared for a little bit. Which
he's not really disappeared, mate. He's been winning all the matches he's been playing. He's just been playing at a lower level, playing a bit more ITF stuff, challenger tennis. I think he took a while to... Yeah, I think it was an injury then. But he took a bit to adjust. But look at what he's doing now. And this is what I'm saying. I expect him to burst on the scene. And I'm confident that he can qualify. And if he does, I want to do a special podcast dedicated to him himself because I love him.
Mate, he's quality. And he looks like he got a bit of revenge there on Bjorn Fratangelo. Lost to him there in one final. Got one back over on him. The battle of the Americans. But yeah, mate, I'll take that away and I'll put the your lovely spreadsheet or whatever it was. Not spreadsheet.
Yeah, while you're doing that, Abbas is asking what happened with Shapo. If people just join us, Shapovalov has pulled out of the French Open. No reason. No one knows why. I had a scan through Twitter, and there's no announcement from him or his team or anyone else. So we'll have to just wait and see what happened. You'd suspect it's an injury, but it's not been made clear. Usually, when someone pulls out of an injury, it's very much imminent. They just let you know as and when. But
I know. Yeah, no idea on that one. As you can see here, next up, we've got both gone to the same one again. We've got Damir Jamur. I think he's a solid clay court player. He's one of the more higher ranked players that's in this qualifying. I think that it sort of picked itself really. He's only going to have to face potentially Mo and Barrios. I had going through, so I think he beats those ones. Going down, Kasper Zook. This is another player that we need to talk about. He's so good, really, really quality player.
Yep.
So he could be facing some stiff opposition though. Kasper Zook. He could be facing Blaz Kavcic in the first round, and then potentially Kuzmanov. I've got going through in the next round, and then potentially Oscar Otti, which he's been playing really well on the Challenger circuit at the moment. But I do have him beating all of them. I think we're going for these youngsters, mate. We're going hoping they all get in.
But Kasper Zook's so exciting. Another Polish player. There's so many good Polish players on the men's and women's. And we saw what happened with Savontek last year. She broke through, had a great year. Kasper Zook this year, I don't know if he's going to be winning it. If he can advance and qualify, I'll be over the moon for him, because he deserves it. He's put in some really stellar performances recently, beating a lot of players. And it'll be a nice reward for him to get a good pay pack out of it at the end of the day. Qualify for this. He deserves the money. He's working really hard.
Mate, he's in incredible form, Kasper Zook. He's one of those players that we've been speaking about a lot. And I think we even came up in that podcast where we were talking about who would you invest in if he was a stock. And Kasper Zook is definitely one of those ones. His stock is still rising. Mm-hmm. Next up, we've gone for something different. You went with Bjorn Fratangelo.
Yep. Another one you weren't keen on, but I like him. I like him.
I like him on hard court. I've not been blown away with him on clay, but Troitsky for me, he's just a solid pick. I just think he just knows how to get.
Mate. He's getting on a little bit.
Done it though, but I just feel like he causes people so many problems.
I think some young blood could really upset the apple cart, and I wouldn't fancy Troitsky's chances against Fratangelo right now.
Well, he's got to get past Say Both Wild in the first round, but apparently,
you've written him off, mate.
He's still amazing.
Yeah, he is. I had Sable Wild written down, and then I changed my mind. He was my first pick, and then I thought, Ben's going to get onto me for that, so I went Fratangelo, and then you got onto me even more.
One we can both definitely agree on is the next pick, though, which is
the next two, really.
Zapata Morales. Well, he's the one which we're both probably raving about more than anybody in this qualification. For me, I think he's my pick of all the qualifiers.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, I think he blows me away recently on some of his performances. And if you go back down the list and you look at some of the players he's already played from this qualification, he's wiped the floor with them. And I think that he could do the same again here. And he has quite a nice draw as well.
Oh, mate, let's talk about the draw, because we spoke about at the top how difficult the draw was there. Some of these are ridiculously easy. And I don't want to be harsh, but none of these really worry me. Popko's so hot and cold.
Yeah,
Martinu, not great. You got Arthur Fields. He's a good player.
Wild card, I think, from France.
But he's a low rank. Bernard Tomic, don't excite me. Alex Bolt or Pullman's, not really clay quarters at all. Nope. So, I think Zapata Morales should walk it really at a canter.
Draw.
Yeah, nice draw for him.
Might have Tomic there, might cause him some, but I think he's been playing so well, Tomic won't give him any problems.
Yeah.
I've said it now. That's him going out. So, going
Liam
down.
Brody?
Yeah, mate. I think I've been impressed with him on the clay. I think that he's really coming into his own, and that's sort of his surface these days, which is crazy to say. So,
another one. I think the one who could. This is a bit trickier. I mean, you got Kovalik, Lamazine, who I like as well.
Yep.
And then the other one was Maxime Krezi. I know that's going to surprise you, but Krezi's been putting some results on clay. I know
Aussie.
No, more for me, Krezi. I think Krezi could be dangerous. One to watch. We know what he does on usually in the hard courts. He's a chip and charge type of player, charges the net after every serve. But on the clay, I don't know what he's been doing because I've not been watching him. But I've seen he's pulled together some good results, and I was really impressed with him because he's got a very good base of a game. Like his serve is so great. Quite a tall lad as well, and I think he can be dangerous. So I'd watch out if I was Brody. However, I will be cheering him on. Team GB. I feel like Brody is just a lower level of Cam Norrie, but they're quite similar.
What? So we've got
Brody aspiring to be Cam Norrie.
Like the levels. There's got Cam Norrie trying to be Nadal and Brody trying to be Norrie.
We've got Jamie Dixon saying Brody played well in Sardinia. He did,
yeah. I think so. I think he's put up some really good performances recently. So hopefully he's the 29th seed in that qualification. Hopefully he does well.
Yeah.
Going down, sadly, I had to put out one of the ones which I was hoping he had a better draw, which is Juan Pablo Varillas. I had him going out. I've got Laxonen as my final guy going through. Man who's been twice on the podcast. Can't go against the guy. He's a solid pick, mate, Laxonen.
I don't think so. I'm really surprised you said that. Oh, dropped my phone. For me, I will be honest. I'll put him number 4 out of these lot.
Oh, come on, mate. What
He's
are you
right
about?
Down the pecking order for me.
How dare you? If he's listening to this, sorry, Henry. If you're listening to this, Henry, sorry, mate.
I'm just being realistic because I love Laxonen. I love him. I think he's class. I just think some of these players here is right up there with at the top, how difficult they are. They are class. Juan Manuel Cerundolo is my pick.
Okay.
He's won a title already this year. He's looked good. When he's played, he rarely loses. He's beaten the most prestigious clay court players on the surface already this year. This is made for him, this tournament. I want to see him do it. I'm super excited. I think Varillas as well has found his form again and playing well. I know he won a tournament recently. Yeah. It looks difficult for anyone to be beating him. That's why, if I'm being honest, I feel like the final qualifying round will probably be a Cerundolo Varillas. I don't see any room for Laxonen at all.
I think you're harsh, mate. I think you're being harsh there.
But Cerundolo's got to get through Collarini first round, and I like Collarini.
I just think it's very harsh on Laxonen. He's somebody who has done well at the French Open previously, qualified I think he qualified last year, actually, in beating Galan Riveros in the final round of qualifying. But Galan Riveros made it into the main draw as well. He came up against Pablo Cuevas, though, and went out in the first round. He can beat good players. He's beaten Borna Gojo recently, one of your players that you've got going through. Kasper Zook, he's beaten recently. He's beat some good players. But, yeah, he's not been in the best form. But that match against Martin he played the other day, I thought he was super close at beating, nearly taking Fucsovics all the way in both sets. So that gave me confidence. I think Laxonen could be back on form, ready for this qualification. But like you say, if Cerundolo makes it in, mate, I'll be very happy because I want to see both those brothers in there.
Mate, I had the other Cerundolo going through, so I couldn't leave this one out. This one's been doing better as well, the JM one. Jam went well. Yeah. So let's see how it goes. For me, I'm super excited for it. And I think the last thing left to do, because we're going to have to wrap this one up very soon.
Yes, indeed.
Going slightly over. Is just talk about, I think we're going to select, out of all of the qualifiers we've done so far, I don't know if we're going to start with number 1. Just have a quick scan through them.
What, do you want to go back to your thing? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so just have a look. There's some of the names here. So on the top half, we'll see that now. Take a photo in your mind. Here's the bottom half. Take a photo in your mind. Go to the last one, Ben.
The last what?
Slide, yep. And there we go. So now we're going to pick our top 3 threats. So out of all of them, Ben's picked 3. I've picked 3. Let's get straight into it. Go on, you can go number 1.
Well, I already said it. Zapata Morales is my, top threat for this qualification. He's looked fantastic recently. Do you want to go 1-on-1? And then go on then. So you're 1.
Do you mind just going to them because I've not actually made a note. So I'm going to have to. I know exactly who they are, but it's just first page.
Okay.
Top or bottom. I feel like it's a game show. Number 1, Ivashka.
Okay. Nice.
He's number 1 for a reason. I think I gave it away early doors. Ivashka is my number 1 thing. I know you've got, who did you have? Zapata Morales. Ivashka's beat Zverev on clay recently. Let's not frown upon it. He's took a set off Rafael Nadal on clay already this season. Ivashka for me is a solid number 1 pick.
I can't pick him because he's not even going through for me. I've got Thomas Mahatch. I'm repping all the players we interview. JG just casting them aside. Never mind. Second on my list, Carlos Alcaraz. He's just won a tournament recently. I think that if he gets through, I think he's going to be a real threat in the actual tournament. So no one's going to want to play him, and all the spotlight's going to be on him as well. So it's going to be pressure, but I think he can handle it. He's 18 now, big boy.
Yeah, and I can't say anything because that's my number 2 as well. Carlos Alcaraz. I think you summed it up perfectly. Brilliant player. I know he played Rafa on his birthday. That's probably a step too far in these qualifiers. Hope he gets through, and I think he can be super dangerous.
Indeed. And number 3 for me is going to be Galan Riveros. He made it to round 3 here last year. He obviously took out Tennis Sangren. He took out Norrie. He lost to Djokovic, which no mean feat. But yeah, that's my third one, Galan Riveros, just based upon his last performance at Roland Garros.
And my third one is tough. It could be either of the Serendolos, but I didn't want to pick either or. So I've gone for neither of them because I don't think it's fair. I feel like it's too biased if I pick one or the other. I love them equally right now. Yep. So I'm going to have to go for Brooksby, the 20-year-old. Not done too much. I think this is going to be his moment. I'm expecting a big breakout. I think he's going to qualify, shock someone first round. He's suffered a lot with injuries. You saw how good he was before the injuries when he was 18 years old in the US Open, beating Berdych, taking Basilashvili to 5 sets. He's class. He's only going to get better and better from there. Probably more of a hard courter, I would admit. But he's just won a clay court tournament, beating some good players.
He's young, mate.
He's young. He's hungry. He's going to have stamina. And I'm expecting big things from him. I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but just remember this podcast. If Jenson Brooksby has a good run, I will be coming back to this video and I will get Ben clipping what I've just said there and posting it all over.
Don't you worry, mate. I'll clip it. We can have a little button that's specially you can keep pressing it if you want. Just you advocating Brooksby. But well, yeah, I hope they all do well. Those are that's our quick run through of the qualification. If you want to check out my whole draw preview where I've picked each result, I'll pop that into the Discord. You guys can check that one out. JG, I'm sure he'll fill it out and he'll throw his one in there too. And then you can let us know who you've picked. So exciting. Let us know in the comments section. We want to hear who you guys have as your top 16 and your top 3 threats as well.
Yeah, perfect. We'll wrap it up there then, guys. Thanks for listening. If you haven't already, please leave us a like on the video. It will mean this video gets to appear to a lot more tennis fans. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Almost on 8K, and we need your help. But for now, we'll see you tomorrow.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.